Hey Stridum, what if I make a kid named Baki, wait 18 years for him to grow up, let him fight other Hanma creatures and then I will fight him? Yeah, that's a great idea. Seems logical to me. But who is going to be your kid's mother? I don't know, but that's not a problem. This sexy looking gentleman is Yujiro Hanma, aka the world's strongest creature, and this middle-aged guy is Captain Stridum, aka Yujiro Hanma's unpaid servant. After this conversation, this young mad-lad Yujiro goes to a nearby party and looks at a sexy girl named Emi Akizawa with his sexy eyes. And within a moment, this young woman falls in love with Mr. Hanma. Shortly after, Yujiro Hanma goes to Emi's bedroom and says these golden words to her.
I've come to collect you.
Then he kills Emi's husband. Look, I don't know who the fuck you are, but listen, you are going to bear me a son named Baki, and he will be the strongest person on this earth, okay? But how do you know that he will be a boy? Because Hanma's sperm never produces anything other than a male child for 99.999% of the time. And if you will have a female child, then the masculinity of the Hanma blood will change her gender and then we will name him Baki. Okay, but you only need a kid because you are bored and you need someone to fight? Yeah, that's it. Then Yujiro makes love to her, and that's how Baki Hanma was born. When Baki came out of his mother's womb, the first word he spoke was strong, unlike you weaklings crying like a baby. At day 4, when you weaklings were drinking your mother's milk, my men started running on a treadmill. When Baki was 1 year old, he broke the world record in running. 1 month later, he broke the world record in weightlifting. Then he continued his training for 4 years. Till this time, Yujiro was done with his sex training, and as we all know, Yujiro literally don't have any goddamn work to do. So he just came to meet Baki and started training him. This is how exactly the training happened. Why are you so weak? You take so much time in breaking the board. I'm trying, father. I have already beat the world record and recently I was even able to lift car. I beat the world records when I was in my mother's womb. When I was 5 years old, I was lifting mountains and fighting 1,000 polar bears at the same time. And you can only lift a car? You are garbage. Honestly, your mother should have gotten a portion. And Hanma is more stronger than you, trash bag. And then as always, he just leaves. Then Baki gets more angry and keeps on training more hard. Emi Akizawa even provided him the best coaches money could buy. This training of Baki Hanma continued for another 8 years. After 8 years, Baki thought that it would be a great idea to fight 100 street fighters at once. And let's just say it didn't go well for him. After this, Baki was super pissed, so he just goes to his gym where he has been training all the time and just starts throwing dead weights around because living guys will throw him back instead. After throwing dead weights, he straight up goes to heavyweight boxer Yuri and surprisingly gets defeated. This was such a shame for Baki that he straight up goes to a forest and starts training in the woods. This training consisted of bench press, boxing, woodcutting, which was exactly the same thing Baki was doing for 13 years.
Same jump 50 times a day! I want to camp on Yasha Crag. Alone.
Baki, I want you to take this axe. That's a monster up there. Not just some ordinary ape.
Look, Ando. I know you mean well. But take this.
You crazy?
That's precisely the type of beast I want to fight with my bare hands.
Take the axe, Baki. No, I can't take it. Why? Because I can't lift it. Then Baki goes to fight Yasha Ape and let's just say he didn't win.
Stop! Too strong. I'm no match for him.
Then he goes to have near-death experience and boost endorphins. After this experience, he again goes to fight Yasha Ape. But surprise, surprise, Yasha Ape was a mad lad as well and a black belt in karate. So this time as well, this fight didn't go as expected.
Great! Now he's showing off!
But because Baki had his endorphins boosted and he was the main protagonist of the story, he was able to defeat Yasha Ape without any major injury. After beating Yasha Ape, Baki challenges and fights Hanayama. This fight was just like every other anime fight, which consisted of a lot of screaming and moaning. In fact, this fight had more moaning than a goddamn hentai video. In the end, Baki wins the fight and everybody starts clapping. But as usual, Yujiro comes out of nowhere, beats Baki's ass, Hanayama's ass, tells him how garbage Hanayama is for a 15-year-old and just leaves. After this incident, Baki was really angry and hated Yujiro and just wanted to defeat Yujiro at any cost. For doing so, he again started doing push-ups and pull-ups.
Same jump 50 times a day!
And as usual, Yujiro comes out of nowhere, shows Baki Yasha Ape's head, tells him how garbage Yasha Ape was and just leaves. Later, Baki eats Yasha Ape's teeth so that he can have his power.
Now, you can help me beat him.
Then with the help of Captain Stridum, Baki goes to a forest in Hokkaido Island and finds Gaia, who has a special ability of screaming. I mean, really the only thing this guy does is scream. Baki defeats Gaia, and then the day comes when he had the fight with Yujiro Hanma. The fight started, and to be honest, it was the best fight in anime history. I seriously thought that 13-year-old Baki would kill Yujiro Hanma, but somehow Yujiro Hanma manages to win Baki. Nonetheless, the match was great and perfectly balanced. Here are some clips of the match.
I'm pleased with this turnout and that my son is so... Hey, Emmy, are you thinking what I am?
While Baki was unconscious, Yujiro thought of loving Emi, but his love was too much for Emi's body to handle. After losing his mother, Baki goes out of Japan to change and become a better fighter. But the only things he changes in 2 years are his hair color and face. After which, he again comes back to Japan and enters the underground arena. In the underground arena, he fights this dummy punching bag, 8-foot tall punching bag, I am the best doctor punching bag, who the fuck is this punching bag, weird punching bag, wrestling punching bag, Ritsukayo and Jack Hanma. He nearly dies in every single fight but still manages to win the tournament, after which he becomes the champion of the underground arena only to go back to the school next day. Because after all, he was just an average 17-year-old school kid. After going to school, he just becomes a downgraded version of himself and always keeps feeling sleepy. I guess even the anime characters get affected by school. Due to his poor performance in academics, Baki's teacher calls Baki's father. Hey sir, your children keeps focusing on physical activities and doesn't focus on academics at all. I mean, brain power is limitless, but physical power is not. 1 week ago, I tried to explain it to him.
I mean, look, you can't outrun a motorcycle. You can't lift a car completely off the ground. You can't swim 1/10 as fast as a well-designed speedboat. You'll never be able to fly like a hang glider.
But sir, you didn't mention going to Mount Everest, lifting a truck 1,000 times, jumping from 40-story building. What? Yeah, you are mentioning my morning exercise routine, right? During this time, Baki fell in love with Kozue. Kozue is the daughter of Baki's landlady and the only girl in this anime, who coincidentally is 17 years old, just the same age as Baki. And for 17 episodes, the only thing Baki does is this.
ちょっと待ってください。
After this, when Baki was about to move to the next phase, Yujiro shows up out of nowhere. I mean, sometimes I seriously think Yujiro is living in 4th dimension, always watching Baki. Then he gives some advice to Baki, tells him that Kozue is just 17 and disappears into thin air, ruining the experience of Baki. Then some days later, Baki calls Kozue for that pussy, which would make him stronger. And then whatever happened was, let's just say, weird. And don't worry about Kozue's age, because Kozue just turned 18 on that day. But after having sex, Baki was not a normal kid, he was something else, and for some reason his hair started to move upwards. Maybe he borrowed Yujiro's imaginary hair blower for some time. Now after doing sex training, Baki was unstoppable and kicked a lot of ass until one day his teacher Kozue realized that Baki wasn't losing his PP in this training, he was losing muscles. Then she took him to the hospital where Dr. Shinogi realized that there isn't anything he can do. To be honest, I was expecting him to drain out all the blood from Baki's body body, take Yujiro's blood and inject it in Baki's body, because a Hanma's body should be able to survive without blood at least for some hours. But I guess the writer became a little realistic here. Later Baki leaves hospital and goes to Endo in hope of getting healed. But obviously Endo just had a ton of gunpowder to blast on his stomach and some vegetables. So Baki was taken to Hong Kong, where he fights and keeps fighting until he meets a level 69 punching bag. According to Yujiro Hanma, a level 69 punching bag can cancel the poison of level 96 punching bag. So as a result, poison from Baki's body was neutralized and later he recovers his muscles as well. After getting recovered, Baki straight up goes to Yujiro Hanma to fight him. But Yujiro just kicks his ass as always. I mean, why didn't Baki did the sex training before fighting Yujiro? I'm sure he would have defeated Yujiro Hanma if he had done a quick workout. But then again, Yujiro could have done it as well. So I mean, it would have just turned into another sort of fight. Later Baki fights with Ali Jr. aka King of Simps and beats the simp out of him. Then he again challenges Yujiro Hanma. So basically he just keeps challenging Yujiro Hanma, get his ass beaten down, then train more and challenge again. I have made a new Discord server guys where we all can come up with even greater ideas, grow the Baki and overall anime community. Also through my Discord server you guys can chat with me and suggest me new ideas, or you can just talk about anime with other like-minded anime fans. And we can do a lot of other things on Discord server which we cannot do on YouTube. So if you are interested you can join the Discord community by clicking the link in the description below. That's it for the video guys. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, then you can like the video and subscribe the channel. Also don't forget to turn on the notifications bell and join the Discord server. The link is in the description below.